Welcome back to Mysteries of the Unknown. In part 1, we went through the timeline of Brandon Swanson's disappearance. After driving into a ditch on a rural Minnesota road, Brandon called his parents and spoke with his father for 47 minutes. He believed he was near Lind, but phone records later placed him 25 miles away. He was calm, walking towards what he thought was a town, until the last thing he said was, "Oh shit!" And then the line went silent. His car was found, his scent was tracked to the edge of the river, but Brandon himself has never been seen again. Today, we're breaking down the theories. So if you haven't done so already, hit subscribe, click the bell, and let's get started. Subscribe now. So let's check out theory number 1, accidental drowning. This is the most widely accepted theory by authorities. Okay. Brandon was walking near the Yellow Medicine River, and dogs tracked his scent directly to the water's edge, and possibly faintly on the other side. It was dark, and the current was high from spring runoff. If he fell in, the theory goes, he may have been swept away before rescuers arrived. But there are problems. The river was searched extensively by divers, boats, and sonar. Gates were placed downstream to catch debris. No remains were ever found. Not a shoe, not a phone, not a piece of clothing. Some believe he did fall in, but if so, the river should have given up something by now. Now, look, this is something that I know. I've seen many different types of videos and things like that where the dogs don't catch everything or the sonar don't catch everything. And it's like, I remember watching a video where someone had gone missing. Their vehicle had gone missing for years. And 2 people just decided to use their equipment and go searching for, I think they were searching for metal and stuff like that. And they happened to find the missing vehicle. And it's been years. The whole idea was this person was supposed to be driving home, and then there had to be some kind of accident of some sort. And how can, you would think, authorities have all the proper equipment to find any kind of missing person with the dogs? They train the dogs to follow the scent and different things like that. But sometimes I truly believe things go unnoticed. So theory 1, I don't know. Even if, like it says here, this is the most widely accepted theory by authorities, I don't know. Accidental drowning, I don't know. Maybe because if his scent was followed, or if they tracked his scent across the river, maybe his "oh shit" was because he probably fell in the water and he made it on the other side because he was trying to get to that town, that nearby town. I don't know. But even if it's accepted, I still don't know. Put your thoughts about this theory in the comments below. But let's check out theory number 2. Hypothermia after exposure. Another possibility is that Brandon fell into water or became soaked in some other way and kept walking. The temperature that night was in the upper 30s. For me, that's cold as hell. Okay? If he was wet and without shelter, hypothermia could have set in quickly, impairing his judgment and leading to death by exposure. This one right here hit a little bit home for me though. Okay? But check this out. In this scenario, he may have wandered into a field or ditch and collapsed somewhere searchers simply missed. But over 120 square miles were covered. Over 120 square miles were covered. And the dogs lost the tracking. They weren't able to track the scent. 120 miles? Hundreds of people searched on foot. If he died near the area, why hasn't anything turned up? But think about this, though. That hypothermia, if the temperature was in the upper 30s, let me tell y'all something. I don't know if y'all been outside, especially these days. It's been, well, not in Florida right now. I live in Florida. But when it gets cold in the 30s and you're just outside and you're dealing with that, oh, it's next level. You should know this, especially if you ever dealt with the 30-degree weather. If you dealt with something colder than that, that's different. You already know what's up. But hypothermia seems to be more of a legit theory, in my opinion. I'm going with hypothermia right now. I still have, I think, about 3 other theories that I got to put on the screen, but hypothermia. If his car broke down, he got into an accident, into a ditch, and then it's in the 30s outside. I don't know how he was dressed. He said, oh, shit. He probably fell into some water. They heard some water on the phone. His dad heard some water on the phone, like he's walking along the river or something, you know? So hypothermia, I'm going to put that at the top of my list right now. But let's go on to theory number 3. Hiding or obscured remains. Some believe Brandon may have sought shelter in a barn, a culvert, or under heavy brush and died there, hidden from view. There are abandoned structures and dense fields in the area. It's possible he crawled somewhere that dogs or searchers did not think to check or were unable to reach. Let's read the rest of this. This theory is considered plausible by some searchers, especially those who return every spring, hoping shifting ground or erosion may finally uncover something. But 17 years later, no trace has ever surfaced. But to be honest with you, hiding in 30-degree weather, like I'm saying, maybe, like you said, obscured remains. Maybe he crawled under something to try to, like, stay warm, right? Because I'm going back to that hypothermia thing, right? It's cold outside. Maybe he crawled up under something to stay warm, but he was on maybe he lost his phone. I didn't think about that. Because I was just about to say, because he fell into the river. He was on the phone with his dad, And then if he was on his phone with his father, maybe he lost his phone when he fell into the river. That's if he fell into the river. The phone did go dead. The line did go dead. It was ringing when the father kept calling back. It was ringing until it started to go straight to voicemail. So I think he fell into the river, lost his phone. He was wet, hypothermia. He then tried to crawl under something to, he sought shelter in a barn. I'm trying to put those two together. So theory 2 and theory 3, they kind of like going in together. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead. Theory number 4, animal attack. I can tell you right now, I'm just like, man, whatever. Unless it was a gator, I'm from Florida, okay? Unless it was a gator, like, they take stuff and they hide, they stick it into, like, I don't know what their process is, but I've heard some things about gators. But theory number 4, animal attack. Could Brandon have been attacked by wildlife? Coyotes are common in the area. There are also aggressive farm animals like bulls or guard dogs. If he encountered one in the dark, it might explain his final words, "Oh shit." But this theory has little evidence. There were no signs of blood, torn clothing, or a struggle near the car or along the path. And it's rare for an animal attack to leave no remains at all. Exactly. I don't know about y'all, but this theory right here, get it off my screen. It's like, no, there's no blood. There's nothing, right? It's like, no, I don't think so, right? If he fell into the river, like I said, gator. But then again, I don't know of an alligator being in cold temperatures like that. Just saying. I mean, like, I know they live in like the water. They be in the water majority of the day and whatnot. I don't know much about gators, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say, right? These animals that they're trying to say in this theory, like, there would be some kind of blood, some ripped clothing, something. Especially if it's coyotes, they're gonna attack you like dogs. And what do dogs do? They latch on and they try to rip that stuff off of you. There would be some type of clothing, some way, somehow, But theory number 4, I don't know about you, but no. But let's go on to the last theory here. Theory number 5, foul play. This is the darkest theory and the least supported by physical evidence. What if Brandon encountered someone that night? What if a passerby or stranger stopped and something went wrong? This could explain the sudden end to the call and the complete disappearance of his body. But there are issues here too. There were no reports of suspicious vehicles in the area, no signs of a fight, and the terrain was remote, farmland, not city streets. Also, Brandon was talking to his father the entire time. If he was being followed or threatened, wouldn't he have said something? I would think so, especially if the terrain looks like that. Like if it's farmland, you would hear like footsteps in the grass or whatever type of gravel or whatever. You would hear somebody walking up behind you. You would hear what's really going on, So it's like, still, the clean disappearance and lack of remains keep this theory alive in some circles. Like, no. I don't know. I'm not going to rule this theory out completely because sometimes people just know how to cover their tracks, right? If there was any kind of foul play, right? If he encountered someone, or let's just say someone for now, right? If he encountered someone, then you would hear some kind of tussle going on, some kind of something, right? Instead of just oh shit, and then the phone goes dead. The phone going dead, to be honest with you, is like a phone don't just go dead because you were attacked by someone. The phone goes flying somewhere, right? And then you could still hear what's going on in the background unless the phone got smashed and then it just completely like died, like the battery and everything flies out of it or whatever. But what's the likelihood of that happening if it's a whole bunch of, what did they say? Farmland, not city streets, So it's like, do I really want to rule out the foul play? I don't. Do I want to rule out animal attack? Hell yeah. Get it off the screen. Do I like this one? Notice how I changed the words. Like? Yes. Maybe he tried to hide from being cold, right? It was in the 30s, right? And hypothermia, right? After exposure, right? But the accidental drowning, I don't know. I don't know about that one either, because I'm not just going to assume that Brandon did not know how to swim. Accidental drowning, I don't know. I just don't know. What's your thoughts? Put it in the comment section down below. But I'm really going to go with number 2 and number 3. Oh, shit. Falls down in water. That's why he said, oh, shit, slipped. I know what it's like. I'm from the Caribbean, and I've walked along the riverbank before, and I know what that's like. There's like soft dirt, like rocks and stuff sometimes, you're trying to navigate along the side of a river. It's like you got to pay attention. And if it's dark out there, there's no light, Can you imagine? I'm talking to the phone, I'm talking on the phone, and then let me just put it back up on the screen. Right? Is it this one? I'll just go with this one. But I'm talking to somebody on the phone, and I'm walking along the river, and then all that stuff I got to navigate. It's in the dark, and then bam, I slip on a rock, and then I end up in the water. You know, it's like it just makes the most sense. My phone falls down in the water. My phone back then, I don't think phones were waterproof. This is like 2008, I believe, right? Don't quote me. But I think it's like 2008. But phone falls down in the water. And if my phone is not waterproof, I am shit out of luck. My phone dies. I don't have any way to get in contact with the people that's looking for me. I end up being really cold. I'm trying to seek shelter. I then try to find something somewhere to then stay warm. My whole body's wet. I'm trying to stay warm. It's 30 degrees. Hypothermia sets in. But where I am, because my scent is no longer tracked by the dogs, they cannot find me. 120 square miles. I truly believe Brandon is out there somewhere, and they just did not know where to find him. They did not know where to look because they were relying on the dogs to find him. I truly believe that's what it is. He fell down in the river, swam his way out, sought shelter because it's cold as hell. Hypothermia sets in, and that's it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but I'm going with theory number 2 and 3. Not one or the other, both of them. 2 and 3. Are you gonna go for number 1? If you're gonna go for animal attack, just let me know. Yeah, I need to hear your reasoning. Put it in the comments below. But theory number 2 and 3 are very strong theories in my opinion. And I'm just gonna go with that. Those are the main theories surrounding Brandon Swanson's disappearance. Some believe he fell into a river. Others think he died of exposure. But without any physical evidence, no phone, no clothing, no remains, the truth remains out of reach. Thanks for tuning in to Mysteries of the Unknown. If you want to check out the next story, click here, where a young woman checks into a hotel and disappears.